We're going to bring back in, as we have since January you've been doing this, Melih?
Yeah, we've had one artificial intelligence related topic each, show, I should say, each month since January. As you can imagine, things have changed dramatically over over the months.
Oh,
As a matter of
yeah.
fact, uh, while I mean, I stay in touch with new marketing related and business tech related technologies. Because we have this show, I also, spend a little bit more time and a little bit more detail into AI. And I can tell you guys, since January, the amount of news, the number of AI related tools, especially for businesses and even for government and so on and so forth, has increased significantly.
Well, do tell. Let's launch right into it. So,
That's what I'm doing into it. All
yes.
right, so I'm gonna twist this show a little bit differently compared to the previous ones. Let's just talk about the news items because they honestly have skyrocketed. For one thing, the tools are getting to a point where it's just, I don't want to say it's not manageable, but it's hard to say, hey, pick this and this is the right tool for you, right? Now it's starting to get a little bit crazy. It's like all we can do is point you in the right direction, then you have to decide what works or doesn't work for you. Nonetheless, let's talk about news. And I'm going to start off with this. I'm saying this on a conceptual level. Change is upon us and it's coming quickly. That's the reality. And the reason I'm bringing this up is while I'm staying in touch with all these AI related topics, unfortunately, I'm also when you're looking, reviewing, searching, when I have my alerts on and from Google Alerts or whether I'm looking through Flipboard, the information on AI is plentiful. Unfortunately, within that space, there's also the fear factor.
Hmm.
And the fear factor being people saying, oh, AI is going to take all away all of our work. It's going to take over our jobs. It's going to do this. It's going to do that. Where it's going to be Skynet. Take your, it's like all these different
I
things
think the
going on.
Skynet thing has me the most concerned, but other than
I
that,
know, exactly.
yeah. So I'm
But
waiting for the Terminator to come charging through the door at any point. But
exactly. So what's interesting is number one, we have to keep in mind that what we have coined as AI is not AI. All what we have coined as AI is large language model. Their computer programs are able to process large amounts of information. But if you go to ChatGPT or its competitor Claude, you're going to find out that it can only respond to something that we say to it. And I use ChatGPT every day. I have yet to have ChatGPT on its own ask me a question. A human being is still, okay, I don't know what 15, 20 years down the road looks like, but a human being in today's world still has to be involved anywhere. And until I can see ChatGPT or Claude ask me a question on its own, I don't consider this artificial intelligence. All I'm doing is I'm working with a computer program that's able to process a lot of information for me very quickly, making my life more efficient, and therefore I can get more done during the day. That's as far as I'm willing to take this at the moment. I don't know where this is all going to head to because, like, for example, let's go down the list. Number one, we have already, before anything that even resembles artificial intelligence, meaning that it can actually interact with us on its own, the European Union is introducing the AI Act. That's today, and they're doing this in planning for the future. The idea is the introduction of this act is more of a framework trying to figure out where does AI fit in our world and how will we be using it? Where are the constraints? Where are the borders? And so that's one thing that's going on right now. Um, I mentioned this before. I'll mention it again because it continues to take its own shape. AI is being used in healthcare quite a bit. Specifically, there is a program by MIT and a company called Takeda or Takeda, and they are looking at AI for healthcare purposes. It's amazing what they're coming up with relative to drug development, medical research, et cetera, et cetera. So that's a good thing, right? It's going to help us with our healthcare. It's going to help us live longer. It'll help us live at least a quality life. And maybe live longer is the wrong terminology to use. Rather, it's about living a quality life. So these are good things, right? I mean, it's heading in the right direction, I should say.
Melih, one quick
Yeah.
question. Is any of that involved in healthcare, like you would talk to an avatar doctor or nurse or something like that? Or is this
No,
strictly for drug
not.
development?
It's for development.
Okay.
It's for healthcare development. It's for drug development, pharmaceuticals, etc. It's helping them process a lot of data very quickly, therefore being able to get, the necessary products to market faster. And so that's where it's being used at the moment. I haven't seen this. I know there's telemedicine out there, but I don't know that this is it. AI is also being used in financial services. There's a company called ThickLab, which is using it, and they have a specific program called Edith, in which they're using it for hedge fund purposes, crypto, stocks, forex markets, etc. The idea is being able to forecast, which is the most important thing in the financial network system. I think if you look around the internet, you're going to find that AI is being, Chat GPT is being used to figure out what to invest in or what crypto to invest in, so on and so forth. There's a lot of different things going on relative to that. So that's an interesting space. I think that, again, that might be something that we need to take a closer look at because it's financially related, and then you could easily find people that are going to try to abuse it. So I certainly am for some type of boundaries, and that's maybe as far as I'm willing to take that right now. Autonomous systems, a lot of activity going on, human and robot interactions. There's AI being used in this particular space. In other words, how do we already have robots in manufacturing, right? The AI help to facilitate a better involvement of robot interaction. And so the autonomous systems, there are research, but it's going to help us with scheduling. It's going to help us manage more our email, our online purchases, et cetera, et cetera. So hard to tell what ChatGPT 5 is going to look like when it actually hits the market, but interesting scope there. Outside of that, you're dealing with voice capabilities, you're dealing with the ability to process more even faster than it already does. And I think one thing that might be interesting for everybody to keep in mind is ChatGPT is backed by Microsoft. ChatGPT's competitor is let me revise that. ChatGPT is owned by OpenAI, which is backed by Microsoft. OpenAI's competitor is Anthropic. Anthropic is backed by Amazon / Jeff Bezos. And Anthropic has its own version of ChatGPT called Claude, Claude. My suggestion is use them side by side, especially in a browser where you have two different tabs open simultaneously, and see if you get similar results, different results, figure out which one works better for you.
Basically, where we're going with this we're using it. I mean, I work for a digital marketing agency that has Lawrence Tech as one of its major clients. And we use this stuff all the time to help us write things, and also we use AI to help us design things.
Right?
Like we might want an illustration for a brochure or something, and we'll go to one of the graphics programs and say,
Mhm.
show me a high-tech college campus. What would that look like? That kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
so but beyond marketing, this is also creeping into a lot of other things, right?
It is. It's creeping. Like, for example, ChatGPT 5 is going to start helping us engage in scheduling our appointments, managing our emails, and our daily tasks. And so when you think about that, by all means, it's we're going to be heading in a different direction. The things that you're talking about, our agency does as well. So we're using AI, for example, to increase the number of leads a website generates. We're able to do that using AI and a variety of other tools too. But the core competency, the core piece there is the AI piece, helping to increase the number of leads by 200% in 4 months. You're using AI to generate more content. So you take a writer, they write a 1,200 word blog post, for example. It's original, it's research, the whole thing, and you run that through the AI, and it spits out 20 versions of it. Unfortunately, whether you may or may not like that idea, but the reality is content still is king, even for, if you go back to the 20, 25 years ago, and today it's still king too. And so the more content you have, the better off you are. The more content you have, the better you're able to explain to Google who you are. Therefore, it's able to rank you and send you free traffic. Is valuable in these types of scenarios. You can use AI to write your YouTube titles, your tags, your description, help you with the development of your videos. From a marketing standpoint, there's so many different tools that are out on the market, or different ways to use AI. Yeah, I'm all for it. The concept is not to fear the AI world and the new technology world, because if you think of, I think I talked about this in the last show, which is we've been through certain types of changes, major changes that have taken place. The internet opened up in 1990, right? You go into 2004, and Google becomes public, turns SEO upside down. That's a major element in terms of how we use the internet today. You come to 2007, the iPhone comes to market, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, etc. All of a sudden, social media becomes a new world outside of AOL that everybody was used to. Well, fast forward from 2007-ish, give or take, the next major change that we have coming that is upon us is the AI world. And I think just as much as everybody has immersed themselves in all these different things that we did the last 25 years, they need to immerse themselves into AI as well. The simplest thing is just to go to ChatGPT and just ask it a question. Ask it to do something, make a suggestion for you. Interact with it as though it's a chatbot. But as far as a chatbot is concerned, it's a very powerful chatbot compared to some of the chatbots that you see on individual websites. So I think from that standpoint, this really comes down to immersing yourself into it. Don't fear the fact that it's new. I mean, this is where the book Crossing the Chasm comes into play, right? Where you've got this bell curve. On the left side, you have the inventors, and then you have the early adopters, and then you get into all these, the bulk of the population finally saying, oh, yes, I'm willing to accept this. And then you got the fear factor and the late adopters. But I think when we take a look at that bell curve from the book Crossing the Chasm, we need to move that entire bell curve. We need to scrunch it up a little bit. Yeah, you're going to be a late adopter, but your late adoption should be no more than about 6 months. You don't have years anymore.